Allie. Welcome back to Haven's Kitchen. Today we're making 15-minute chimichurri steak bites. This is a delicious 15-minute steak dinner with 4 ingredients. Our chimichurri does all the work, so you don't have to do a whole lot of prep. And it comes out really delicious. You can serve it right in the pan, so you don't even have cleanup. This is a great recipe for a summer night. We use corn and asparagus, but if that's not in season for you, you can use any other quick cooking vegetable. If you want to parboil some broccoli and then add it in, that's a great idea, or you could do peppers and mushrooms and onions too. If this 15-minute meal sounds like something you'd like to make, be sure to subscribe to get all of our future videos. All right, let's get started. I happen to love cooking in a cast iron pan. First of all, they're really beautiful and they look great just put on the table. But more importantly, the thing about a cast iron is you get a really, really good sear because you get a lot of heat at the bottom. You're gonna warm up the pan first. You're gonna add a little bit of oil and your steak, and don't touch it, because you want the steak to get the sear on the bottom of the pan, and if you start moving it around too quickly, it's not gonna happen. For this recipe, you need 4 ingredients. You need steak, which we've cut into cubes, asparagus, which we've cut into bite-sized pieces, corn kernels, and our herby chimichurri. It's got olive oil, it's got oregano and parsley and capers and red pepper flakes, so it's done all of the seasoning, so you don't have to. So there's a lot that you can learn from this recipe. A, you want to have your cast iron pan really, really hot on the stove. You want your steak in even pieces so it cooks evenly and you don't have overcooked steak and undercooked steak. You want your asparagus all cooked evenly, same thing. You want them all tender, but you also don't want them overly cooked. And the corn kernels, they're all pretty much the same. You also want to make sure that when you're adding the steak to the pan, you let it sear, you give it plenty of space so that it's not steaming all on top of each other. Once we get it nice and crispy on a couple of different sides, we're going to take it out of the pan and set it aside. Then we're going to cook the asparagus because the asparagus take a little longer to cook than the corn. So you start thinking, what vegetable is going to take a little longer? I'm going to cook that for a couple of minutes first. And then once you see them turning like a really bright green and starting to char on the edges, that's when we add in the corn. We give it a quick toss, cook it for like another minute, and then we add back in the steak, get it all combined with the chimichurri, and dinner is done. So the asparagus is nice and bright. The corn is now nice and bright. Now we add back in the steak. Give it a toss. There you have it, our 15-minute chimichurri steak bites and veggies. Remember, you can swap out the veggies for any quick cooking vegetable like mushrooms or peppers or onions. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to like and subscribe to be notified when we publish new cooking videos. For the full recipe and textable shopping list, click the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and cook happy.